What's up guys, Chris here from Vo-Gus Prospecting. If you're new to the channel, a big warm welcome, and if you're an old multi hunt like this one, welcome back brother. I'm having a bit of a rest day from filming. We've been doing a hell of a lot of it recently, so this is only going to be a short video, but I wanted to make it because I have found some very cool gold. Pioneer Paulie and his mining partner are further upstream, and we are in this stunning little valley. Look at this, absolutely picturesque. It's very, very difficult to find anything slightly related to this in Australia, so I'm so happy to be here when the leaves are changing color and whatnot. And speaking of color, I just found a little bit. So we're just detecting today. We're not doing anything too extensive. I've got a little crevicing tool. I've got a tiny little plastic scoop to just help identify the targets. I've got a really, really clean, sharp signal here from the gold monster, which I'll show you. I broke up this slaty bedrock and out popped that bit of gold. All right, this is the signal the gold monster was giving me. So you can hear it's a very sharp signal. It's giving me a full gold. It's not jumping around at all. And man, I knew straight away that this was either going to be a bit of lead or a bit of color. And when I actually scratched down onto this bedrock, it was solid bedrock, and there was no way that I could see in getting into it. And that's why it's so important when you're in slaty bedrock, I've talked about this many times before, to bring something like this along that you can get into the nooks and crannies and crevices and break this stuff up. You can see right there that just breaks straight up. And that's where the gold's sitting. Now let's actually see. It's not a big bit, but it is a bit. Look at that. Oh, my second piece of detected BC gold. Check that out. Yeah.
Good for you. That's awesome.
It is a sexy little booger.
So out of this little tributary that we're in right now, this is actually the biggest piece I've seen come out of here, even though I know there's huge gold here, but I haven't had as much luck as you, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finally hit it in the right spot. Yum.
Let's go.
For those of you who watch Pioneer Paulie's videos quite regularly and want to know a little bit more geologically about this area, like what I have on my channel, I'll give you the rundown. This site sits on the San Andreas Fault, and that basically means that there's been a lot of tectonic plate movement, volcanic action and stuff, and we're dealing with super cooked bedrock that is essentially all slate. The reefs in this area are extremely scattered. That's why there is so much big gold here. What you're getting quite often are reefs that might only range from a few millimeters long to a few meters long at the biggest. They're not huge long reefs like what we get in Australia, where you could put a drive into the side of a hill for several kilometers. Here you'd be lucky if you got 10 meters worth of gold bearing quartz. And it's simply because of all that plate action. The more the ground moves and undulates and changes, the more it breaks up, the more it fractures, and things get shifted around quite extensively. Every year we're getting floods coming down these hills. You're getting massive amounts of water volume going down and huge amounts of erosion, and that erosion is cutting across hundreds of these little reefs in just a small area, and that's why you're getting such large pieces of gold. Now most of them look extremely waterborne, but you've got to remember that the creeks are so violent here that it doesn't take very long for that to happen. been a few hours and we've changed locations. I've got a nice signal under my coil. It's doing the same thing as it did last time. It's a nice consistent gold signal and very sharp. So I'll show you what the machine's doing and then we'll get the target out of the ground. Now this was a very faint signal. I just kicked the top of the dirt off here before I got a nice clear signal from it. So you can see there that it's going full gold and it's staying relatively consistent. Whatever it is obviously tiny. It could be wire. Wire often gives you this sort of signal. After an absolute age of bucking around, I lost the target. I can't find it. The machine stopped picking the signal up. I can't find it in any of my spoil pile or on my shovel or anything. So that's going to the gold gods. After what feels like forever, Pioneer Paulie got a tiny piece. Oh, it is a tiny piece too. Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's about 6 grams on the nose, I would assume.
Paulie found his target just in there and he's continued all along the ways, trying to scratch another one out. Whoa! I almost fell over. I've got a nice target that was up where my coil is and I've scratched it out and it's now somewhere in here, so we're going to try and find it. I got it in the scoop. So with a little bit of luck, no, it won't be a nail. I really hope it's not a nail or a hot rock. It sounded so good, but I got this ominous feeling now because I'm not seeing anything gold colored in there. Yeah, it's not going to be gold. Unfortunately, I think that is a bit of iron. Yeah.
Is that a piece of gold?
That is a piece of, I think that's a piece of bullet casing from an arrow.
From an arrowhead?
Yeah. A bit of bullet casing from an arrowhead.
Cool.
Apparently I found Canada's only poisonous lizard. I was informed about this after I was already picking it up and playing with it. The rough-skinned salamander, I believe they called it.